Hello and welcome to Middle School Science. I am Miss Cannon and I am going to give you a little bit of information about how science is going to run this year and and a little bit about me as well. First of all, let's start off by giving you a little information about myself. Um, as I said, I'm Miss Cannon. I just have moved to the Baltimore area from the PG County area near DC. I moved up here because I'm participating and helping in a church plant in the area. And so, because of helping with the church plant, I relocated to Baltimore. And I attended Cairn University, where I received my bachelor's in elementary education and also my master's in education. I have 15 years teaching experience at Grace Brethren Christian School, where I also graduated from. And over the 15 years at Grace Brethren, I've taught a variety of different subject areas, but this will be the fifth year that I've taught middle school science, which is one of my favorite things to teach. I love teaching science because of how hands-on it is and how fun it is to explore God's creation. I have a few goals for this year in general for middle school, whether your student is a sixth grader, a seventh grader, or an eighth grader. Our goals are to learn to approach science from a biblical worldview, and that's what we're starting this week. As we're beginning our studies in science, is we're learning how to look at science and the theories and information that's put out there in our textbooks and videos that we're going to be watching, how to approach it from a biblical worldview of God's word as our standard. Also, our goal is to apply the things that we're learning to our life with real life application opportunities through different labs and investigations. And I want to give them many hands-on experiences where we can learn to dig deeper, not just get a bunch of facts about science, what we're learning, but also to get a little deeper and apply the knowledge that we're getting. One of the key tools that your student will use in science class is their science notebook. We use something called interactive notebooks. The image that you see on the slide, you can see is how their notebook's going to be set up as you help them study and look through what they're learning in class. On the right side of the screen of the notebook, you'll notice this is the teacher input. Okay, this is the side where they're getting notes, they're learning new things. You're going to see diagrams, handouts, written notes. I've given them the option that if they want to color code, like you see on this notebook right here, they can color code just to help them depending on their learning styles. The left side of the notebook is output. This is where they take the information that they learned on the right side and they apply it in some way, whether it be a lab or a personal response, a journal. It could be many other activities that we're going to do throughout the year. But this will be very important as we're going to learn some note-taking skills as we're doing this. And we learned their learning styles this past week, where they know how to approach a little bit better how they're learning, so they can kind of be able to learn the way that they need to learn based off of their learning style. There are some additional supplies including their notebook that they're going to need for class. They're going to need gloves for labs. Since we're have the COVID restrictions, what we're doing to protect ourselves as we're touching lab materials is that we are going to wear gloves because some of those materials are shared. So when we're doing the labs, if you can make sure that your student always has 2 or 3 pairs in a Ziploc bag in their backpack, that'll be great. I will also have gloves in class for those that run out or their last set of gloves rip, or they just forget to bring gloves that day. Scissors and Scotch tape will be helpful when we're putting things into our interactive notebook. Also, colored pencils, pens, or highlighters are helpful if they want to color code their notebook as they're taking notes. Curriculum for this year, we are beginning with a creation unit for all three grade levels. Sixth grade, one thing that we're focusing on is design that we can see in nature, the natural revelation that God's given us. And we're going to be using Indescribable by Louis Giglio. as a resource as we study this. 7th and 8th grade, we're going to be using Right Now Media as a resource. Just make sure your child can access Right Now Media so that they can get to the videos if they need to review them. 8th grade will occasionally have some of the videos to watch for homework as well, so they'll need access. In terms of textbook, we use McGraw-Hill Inspired Science. 6th grade is going to be focusing on Earth and space science this year. 7th grade will be focusing on life science. And 8th grade is going to be focusing on physical science. In terms of Microsoft Teams, we will be using this in many different ways. We'll be doing some training for the in-class students. Virtual students are already starting to use this a lot. When you get onto your individual team, or when your child gets onto their team, they're going to notice some channels on the left side. We are going to be using a discussion channel, a Bellwork channel. There's also a PowerPoint channel, a science notebook channel, and additional resources. The discussion and Bellwork one, we'll use that kind of like an open forum and discuss. They'll respond to questions. We'll have discussions that the in-class students and virtual students can do together. PowerPoints channel is where I'm going to place our weekly or our PowerPoints for each unit. Science notebook will have any of the handouts that we're putting in the notebook. Those will be there as a resource if they lose something or they need something. And additional resources might have links for videos or other things that we're using in class. If the student has an assignment to turn on Microsoft Teams, if I provide a document for them, they can type directly into it. They can also attach a picture of their completed work if they want to print the work, and then attach pictures of their work. When I return their assignment, I might put comments, or I'll put their score. So look for any comments, especially if they get it returned and they don't have a score. It could be that they just need to fix some work, or there wasn't any information in the document that they submitted. The last thing I want to talk about is a reward that I use in science class, and that would be science bucks. This will be something that'll start coming into play in the next couple of weeks, where your child can earn science bucks through doing really well on an assignment, participating in a discussion where I might be handing them out, many other reasons that I might hand them out as well. They'll be able to be used for homework passes, omits, and other ways that they can earn rewards as well. So for example, a homework pass, they may need 10 science books, and then they can get a homework pass, and then they can take a break from homework one night if it's an assignment that's not helping them prepare for the next class. If it's extra practice, they can use it for that assignment. If you have any other questions about how science is going to run this year, feel free to contact me through my email, jcannon, Perry Hall Christian School, or you can also your child can contact me through Teams as well. Feel free, they can send me messages through there, through the chat as well. Have a great night, and look forward to being able to meet you face to face one of these days.